So, there's been a lot going on in Halo 5 as far as the servers are concerned. A lot of people, especially on Reddit and things like that, seem to claim that Halo 5's dedicated servers are bad. And some of them go as far as to say that dedicated servers themselves are bad. And that's not necessarily the case, but Microsoft and potentially 343's implementation of this is pretty bad. So, I'll start off with the overall sort of server issue. Xbox Live, as far as I'm aware, is hosted only in Seattle, America. How do I know this? Because I get a consistent 180 ping to Microsoft servers. Whether that's for Gears of War 4 on the PC, or Halo 5, or just the Xbox dashboard. I get a consistent 180 ping. And when running a speed test to Seattle, lo and behold, I get 180 ping. And if there's a way of changing this and for some reason I've not, then let me know. But as far as I'm aware, there is no way of changing, or that there aren't actually any other servers for Xbox Live in the world. They are only in Seattle, America. And I think this is why a lot of Australians complain that the servers are bad, because, well, they have to connect all the way from Australia. They're getting 300 odd ping. It's the other side of the world. So, I can't say I have it as bad as some people, but in my eyes, as somebody who plays a lot of twitchy PC shooters, 180 ping is unacceptable. Really unacceptable. Now, this is one in part to dedicated servers, because dedicated servers are, like the name suggests, dedicated. They're in one place, for one function. But a lot of companies alleviate this by doing something like League of Legends did, and a lot of MMOs do, where they have different server groups that are in different areas. So say for example with League of Legends you have EU West, which is Western Europe. You have EU NE, Nordic and East, which is Northern and Eastern Europe, and Russia and a bunch of other people. And then you have like America, you have Latin America, and you have Turkey and things like that. They are all server groups assigned to certain places to ensure that every player has the lowest ping possible. And especially with 343 and Microsoft pushing esports on the Xbox, having a ping so high, I know this doesn't count at LAN tournaments, and when I say LAN tournaments, I'll get onto that in a minute, but they're not actually on LAN. But when they talk about online tournaments and things like that, the ping is ridiculous. 180 ping is way too high. I mean, most pro PC gamers say that 25 to 30 ping is bad, and that's the highest that they will go. If it's anything above that, then they class it as unplayable. It's not totally unplayable, but at a really, really competitive level where every millisecond counts. 30 millisecond delay between information being sent from the server to the players is unacceptable. Now, getting on to the whole LAN events that they do. Halo 5 does not have any LAN support whatsoever. The quote-unquote LAN events that they do for the HCS and things like that, they're not LAN. They're run on a dedicated server that's in the building. It's not on LAN, they still have to connect to that server through the internet. Which means they have to ping to wherever the building that the event is being hosted in. It has to ping from there to Seattle and back to the server, which eliminates a fair few issues with data being sent and received. But the ping is still there. There is still latency. Whereas with games like Counter-Strike and League of Legends, they are played on LAN. There is no latency in the slightest between clients and the server. And that is the way it should be, because it leaves as few elements to chance and lets the player's raw skill shine through in the best way it can. Now, for matchmaking like what you or I would play online, they still use dedicated servers, yes. But that wasn't the case in the older Halo games. In Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo Reach. I'm not sure about Halo 4. I barely played any of the matchmaking for that one, so let me know in the comments if you know. But they used a host client system, where one player would actually be the server as well as playing the game. the game would try and select the person with the best internet or at least the lowest ping. But the person with the lowest ping didn't always have the best upload speed. And this would cause everybody else to get bottlenecked by the person who the game had selected as host's low upload speed. Now, running a speed test on people's consoles isn't really the easiest thing to do, especially when you're trying to run a game, back on the old games consoles where they had sort of single-threaded CPUs. And the easiest way for them to find who was the best host was by ping. They'd check who had the lowest ping. And they would go, okay, this person has the best connection to everybody, so this is the guy we're going to choose. And it's a good way of doing it, but it's not as good as dedicated servers. If dedicated servers are done correctly, that is. If dedicated servers are in your area, so you don't have to ping ridiculously high while somebody else could ping 20, that'd be some pretty poor matchmaking if they did that, but, you know, I've seen things like that happen, especially in low population games, like, I'm going to say it, Halo 5 is. I can't deny that Halo 5 isn't a low population game, because it's nowhere near where it should be. But dedicated servers, they are the way forwards, but, and this is probably the main point in the video, and it's the bit that I really wanted to sort of say, is that we need to have at least system link in our games, so that we don't have to use online, especially for tournaments. I know I always bring things back to esports, but it's obvious that Microsoft are pushing esports on the Xbox. And if they can eliminate that element of randomness that connection time, ping, latency, whatever you want to call it, brings in, then that's one more thing to bringing the game to a competitive state. And it's something that a lot of people, especially in machinima communities and, you know, LAN tournament communities, LAN gaming communities, people who have LAN parties at their house, they would all appreciate this because it means that everybody can bring their Xbox, sit down, plug into a network. There's no connection difference, there's no lag, there's no latency. They can just play the game. And it's one of the things I miss most in Halo 5. Because I go to Insomnia Festival every year. I go to Insomnia Gaming Festival, I go to the LAN hall, I take my PC, I also take my Xbox. And in the Master Chief Collection, in older Halo games, I've been able to literally go, find a LAN game, and then 10 or 15 LAN games will pop up. They are people that are sat in the same hall as me, playing the same game as me. And they're people I can play with no connection loss. People, if I want to play competitively, there is nothing stopping me from doing so. I don't have to worry about, will I lag if I play with these people? How are their connections? How's my connection? And it just makes for a more fun gaming experience. What do you guys think about dedicated servers? Do you think we should keep them? Do you think we should scrap them? Do you like System Link? Let me know in the comment section below. And remember, stay classy. Oh, and to the guy who wanted Halo CE gameplay, I got you, buddy.